What's going on, gamer? So here, right here, we have a response now from MBG wanting to give Ghost of Yotei a chance now. He has changed his stance a bit after things have passed by. I'm curious to see what he's going to be saying here. My thing is like I told you before, it depends on what you want to do. You can separate that individual from that and still respect the other people's work and enjoy the game. And you're not committing a crime by doing it because you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Or if you don't want to support it and because you just feel like they're a part of that team and they just messed up, but that was still there. And I know some people to think like that too. You know what I mean? I understand you're right as well. You have the right to feel that way. So yeah, I think as it gets closer, it's going to be interesting because I'm kind of on the fence too about it, but we're going to see what happens. I'm curious to see how Sony is going to respond to the situation, to the public, and to the press. Yes, you've gotten rid of them because they've acted up so much, but the behavior is a little bit in question, Sony. And your IP, which is supposed to be probably the biggest launch of the year to one of your biggest sequels recently in the past decade that people absolutely love, needs to be remedied. You haven't said anything. Too much time has passed. You need to come out. Sucker Punch needs to come out, and you guys needs to say, look, I mean, there needs to be some traction to pick up on this game or something, right? Not just leaving it damaged after everything that just happened and that person fired with you saying nothing. So that's what I have to say before we get started on this. But let's see what MBG has to say. Let's get into this. Here we go.
I told everybody that, look, man, uh, without going too deep into it, I didn't quite anticipate that when I decided to talk about that, people took that very much as a political declaration. And looking back on it, it's like, okay, I guess I understand why. It wasn't meant to be that. But the
Okay.
thing that I kept saying over and over again is if Sucker Punch does something, to me, it doesn't matter what it is, but they need to do something to let me know that they're aware of what's going on and they're going to take some kind of action. As long as they do that, they will still have my support because that's truthfully, I feel like that's all I could reasonably ask for. Um, and they did. They did. And, this is
Well, that's my thing. So when we think about this, right? Let's narrow this camera down a bit. Here we go. All right. When we think about it, we all have who are was looking forward to this game before anything was revealed. Great memories with Ghost of Tsushima. I have the platinum. You know what I mean? I did everything on there. I loved it. And the epic journey I had with Jin Sakai was very satisfying. And I was like, okay, I liked where Sucker Punch is going because they keep on making jumps from the infamous PS3 days to Second Son to Ghost of Tsushima, and then I'm seeing what you're going to do with Ghost of Yotei for PlayStation 5 as an exclusive only. The excitement was, for me was pretty high. So yeah, seeing this is kind of disappointing, and I would like to see Sony come out and remedy it. But I still have to give them the benefit of the doubt because they made a great game before, and I want to see what it's going to turn out to be. Still, because that's just still in me, and I can't lie and say that it's not.
where I'm saying, like, a lot of people are pissed at me. And I understand why. And look, man, I'm not going to apologize for taking the stance I did because I know why I did. And I am a little bit surprised to see that a lot of people don't seem to understand why I did.
Human
But people
behavior.
who are like upset with me, it's like,
That's
look,
it.
man, I don't want to see the game do poorly. I'm
Hmm.
not, I don't put myself, and I think this is why some people are mad at me. I think people basically took that as I'm now going to be a radical individual where everything now I'm only seeing things through this singular lens. And now every game I talk about and every topic I talk about and everything going forward is just going to be viewed through that lens because we see that happen
Hmm.
with many people. And we're not going down the rabbit hole. I'm just simply here to explain that that's not what this is. That's not what that was. And that's not what this is. And it's not what it will be. And I understand that with me tackling that the way I did, the whataboutisms present themselves. What about this? What about that? And I just try to be honest with people and let them know that, look, man, I'm just one person and I'm not connected to everything that's going on all the time. And I understand that there's no reason for me to make my moral stance on everything. I don't think anybody's, I don't think anybody wants to do that because how can you do that reasonably?
Hmm.
I don't think you can in today's day and age. There's simply too much information at any given time. But this was just
Yeah, it's a lot of double-edged swords, like no matter what, and that's just part of the duality of the nature of man and just entertainment in general. So that's why I said to me that type of stuff is kind of expected. So
one particular time where it felt, you know, it felt pretty direct. It felt pretty direct and like this is something that I'm literally covering on my channel. And people were talking about like how come you're not boycotting like Microsoft or something? It's like, well, to be honest, because I'm not paying as much attention to Microsoft. I saw that they have a whole thing going on with their entire company. I don't know what that's about, but it seems like it's pretty fucking serious over there. And I'm like, yeah, I hope they do what they need to do. If it's that bad. But I'm not paying much attention. Like I'm hearing about all these different Xbox developers. It's like, I get it, but I'm not paying nearly as much attention because I don't care as much. And that's just the truth, man. I don't care necessarily about Microsoft products as much.
fair.
Um, and that's the thing is I just think that in order for me to take a stance like that, it's got to be something that's pretty egregious, I would say. But I get a lot of people are like, well, why make all the devs suffer? Why make the entire team suffer?
Hmm. I think he had a bit of a freeze here, and then it fixes itself.
Because of one or two or three individuals that they can't control what they say. And there's the whole freedom of speech argument, and I get it. I understand all of it.
Yeah, like what they do, are you going to let that change your original free will of choice that you originally wanted? And if so, people have their reasons why. And then there's some people who it's like, I get they did that, but they got them out. That doesn't mean all of them need to suffer because of that. I still want to originally support the game that I want to support as a gamer and screw politics for even causing any amount of division among gamers, period. Right? So there could be I want to be optimistic about it, and there can be somebody that wants to be pessimistic, and maybe people just be neutrally just don't care. Um, I don't know, like he was just saying, it's always going to be a double-edged sword no matter what. And it's not necessarily about saying either are wrong because they do or don't want to support the game. And that has to be accepted. And that's not hard when one person wants to make another decision, wants to see it that way, and somebody else wants to see it that way. It is always going to be like that. So no matter what, that's why I think it's best to find the best solution for both sides and to see if both sides on the extreme with somehow reason to see that, yeah, maybe you could go back to your original choice and realize that, or you could continue doing what you're doing. Either way, I wouldn't see you as wrong for doing that. Because the fault is not at any gaming community or any gamer, it's at the individual that acted up over there and the people that chose that.
Mostly, I mean, there's a few things I've seen where I'm like, I don't understand where you're coming from, but generally speaking, I understand.
Yeah.
And it's just like, look, man, I just can't help it. Like, there's just some shit where it's like, bro, this isn't about politics. Like, this isn't about
No,
race or gender or ethnicity. It's not about any of that. Like, this is just about, like, bro, it's about decency. That's all it's about.
correct. Like I said, stripped labels aside, that's you. Because if I put you on another label, you're just gonna act that way under that label. I put you over there, you're gonna act that way over there. Why? Because that's just who you are, no matter where I put you. And that's what we need to understand about individuals like that that acted up. So it's not necessarily blaming one label because of that, but more like dealing with individuals that are acting like that. Then the label doesn't have that going on because those individuals are not underneath it representing it like that. All that is what that is. That's why I say it's not really a problem with necessarily the label, but the individuals representing it.
That's all that was about.
Mhm.
But That's why
behavior.
it's like I thought I was being as fair as I could, being while being true to myself, which is like, I want to play your game. I think this game looks great. And I'm hyped for Yotei, dude. I'm hyped for Sucker Punch and what they,
Yep.
because I haven't seen anything of the game that makes me go, whoa.
Bleach is my favorite anime. You know what I mean? Do we need to keep talking? And you damn right I'm caught up and I'm waiting for it to continue where Ichigo and Shinya. All right. You see what I mean? Yeah. I mean, the samurai world. It's like, don't mess with my samurai stuff. Don't mess it up. Yeah. But we're serious about this. The best technology too? No, why are we doing this? No. This needs to be epic. Right? They had like even the Luffy music in there. Just everything about that game. I liked what I saw. You know what I mean? It's the sucker punch that I was seeing with Ghost of Tsushima. So now remember, you guys, you're gonna be playing this on PC and eventually on the Xbox PC or whatever. But yeah, I mean, and that way, I can't say that died inside of me because of that person. I just want that person gone from the scene, and I would see the work of everyone else. There was just an artist there, but it wasn't like the director did that, who's directing the game and all that. That's why I say it depends on how we want to scale it, but it's always going to be subjective when it comes to scaling. And we need to make sure to remember that so it doesn't get too extreme on everybody's subjective point of views that they think may be right. But really, it's more about understanding, do you want to or do you not want to support the game?
I don't know about that.
After that,
Everything I've seen, I'm like, this is up my alley, man. I like this. And then I saw this one thing, and I'm like, I don't, it made me take pause and take a big step back and be like,
huh?
Sucker Punch, Sony, like, dude, like, what is that, man? Like, what is that shit?
Mm-hmm.
I saw, somebody left me a comment and they were like, you helped end somebody's career, or like a
No, they did that themselves. And then tripled down on it after that without anybody even doing anything. As responsive, you didn't have to do anything. They just self-destructed themselves and then further did it. Nitro gas rush, embarrassing Jim Ryan, doing that to all that work over that long period of time. Disrespected all those people and everything. This is why I don't like Westerners handling Japanese products in a way to where it's like, this is not the first time you've done this, and it's starting to get really annoying. And I would just like for you to make a video game instead of acting retarded. And yeah, hopefully we can get to that.
I hope you're happy about that or something or whatever. And it's like, dude, I wasn't the one saying that they need to be fired in order to make this okay. I
Hmm.
wasn't the one saying that. But, the reality is that person doubled and tripled down on what they said, even after they got fired. And so it's like, I, I'm not happy about any of it
So yeah, there's nothing to be happy about. You're damaging
because
a
I
game
said
I
so
care
as a
about.
perfectly valid response to all that nonsense.
Like, because guys, you got to think about this. There's a lot to really think about. Because it's like you want this positive momentum to continue. Just like the disappointment when Microsoft tried the 80. Now Sony is doing good things with Helldivers, and this comes around the corner. And it's like this year is just cancer with negative news. Though there's so much positive coming in too. And they canceled so many games. And finally, we're getting to a huge game we've been waiting on, and this bullshit pops up. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're not going to even be able to catch a break as a first party gamer in the PlayStation world. Or just somebody that wants to wait on those games, you know what I mean? Even to get somewhere else, you're waiting too, and it's being damaged for you. The whole thing, man. It's like, yeah, man. It's starting to get annoying now. Yeah, now I'm starting to get annoyed. Like, and I'm not a main PlayStation gamer, but I play all their games too. I'm looking forward to that as part of like my gaming window in general, because that's where the game is at. You know what I mean? I'll feel the same way if the game was anywhere else and this crap is happening. But it's the idea of, yeah, everything I said, messing with the samurai games and just messing up another good video game for unnecessary behavior. that literally did so much damage in a split second that just could have been completely avoided. And now we're all affected by it, and all this stuff is going on, and you see that's how it is with the domino effect. And we got to make sure we handle it in the most mature situation possible. Because I know people wonder why I get into this, and I told them, I'm politically independent. If there are no leaders in it, do you just want to sit there and watch and just let it be chaotic? There needs to be better people that can keep that stuff at bay and give people better inspiration, not just having garbage be promoted in front of you in chaos. There needs to be some type of order. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, it's it's getting it has gotten very crazy out there, man. People are truly coming undone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's freaking me out a little bit. It's freaking me out where it's like, dude, I understand now more than ever why people want to bury their head in the sand because it's like, holy shit, it's becoming insane. It feels like a fucking civil war is about to erupt. And I don't know, like a cold civil war, is that a thing? I don't know what to call it, but I understand why a lot of people just want to avoid it because it's hard. It's hard to reason with people when they are this passionate. And I'm using the term passionate loosely. Um, but I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. It's crazy out there, man. I wouldn't take any of that personally, bro. Personal accountability is lacking in youth today. And I'm not, it's sometimes there's a few times I read a couple things where I'm like, damn. But then I just realized that it's like, you know what? The only thing I can do is just respect people's decisions. And I don't want to be that I don't want to be that type of hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite in general, but I definitely don't want to be the type of person that's like, you need to respect my decision, but I'm not going to respect yours. I can't do that. Like to me, that is what too many people do right now.
Fair. That's a good way to end things. So it looks like he's moving closer to probably wanting to warm up to Ghost of Yotei and eventually make the purchase. We'll see. I guess as time gets closer, I'll let you guys know how I feel about it too. I still want to play the game. I still got to see what it's about. But yeah, this sucks. And yeah, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. So let me know what you guys think about this. Peace out. Have a great day. Still got to do it. Ponies, sit down. PlayStation gamers, keep gaming. Samurai lovers, hang in there. It's been rough. Later, y'all.